Welcome to JAMN 95.7. That's Frankie over there. I'm Tati.
What's up, guys?
He's actually the man. I just took over right now, but go ahead.
Oh, no, not at all, Tati. I've learned, a happy life is a happy wife. And that's kind of like, we're more like radio siblings. So if you keep the radio sibling happy, the female version, we're good.
Had to make sure you said you guys were radio siblings.
Yes, thank you. Do you have siblings, Khalid?
I do. I have two sisters. Actually,
okay.
One's older than me and then one's younger than me.
Okay, so you guys all moved around. I'm getting right into this personal stuff, okay? You guys all moved around, huh?
My older sister is a little bit way older than me. So,
okay.
But my younger sister and I, we definitely moved a lot together.
I see. So you were Georgia. I want to see if I got this right. You were in Georgia.
Yes.
But then because your mother was in the service, salute to her, you guys moved everywhere. You were in Germany 6 years?
Yeah, so I was born in Georgia, but I lived in Germany for around 6 years. After Germany, I moved to New York. I lived there for around 4.
Okay.
And then I lived in El Paso for going on, I want to say 2 to almost 3 years.
How much of those places, that's funny that your song is location, that's such a hit. How much of those locations influenced your music?
Definitely Germany influenced me a lot just because of all the friendships that I made. Mm-hmm. But when I had moved to New York, I was getting older, so I was kind of starting high school for me. And so it was definitely a discovery period. I met so many new friends who listened to so many different types of music, who would pick me up, take me to school. They'd be playing something on the aux. And I would find out, like, wait, I really like that song. So then I would go and research it. And then it just ended up being another influence for me when it came to making my own music.
I was just about to say that I think that's why your music stands out so much.
Thank you.
Here, especially in the U.S., I'm sure when you go to European, you did for your location tour, you had a European leg as well.
Yeah,
I'm sure there it's like, yeah, he's ours. They claim you.
Oh,
right?
all the time. So that's why I'm super excited. So I'm going on tour with Lord too. In the fall, we're going to Europe again. So I'm super excited to go back. I really can't wait to go back to Germany because then they're really going to feel, a sense of ownership. And I like that.
I'm sorry, I'm geeking. I'm going to let Frankie ask some questions. Go ahead, Frankie. I'm sorry.
Nah, the new single, Young, Dumb, and Broke.
Right.
Inspiration behind that. Is that just you feeling the way you feel right now? Because we're talking about this because it relates to like everybody. The second you get out of college, you're young, you're dumb to the world. Right. And I don't know, I didn't graduate with any money in my pocket.
Right. For me, I really felt like that song was just, I really wanted to be a representation of my youth, I've definitely been, I'm still young. I wouldn't want to say I'm dumb now, but I made dumb. You make dumb decisions when you're a kid, and I was broke. Wink, wink.
Have you had a big purchase yet? Have you been able to enjoy the spoils of your hard work?
I wouldn't even say I'm like a splurger when it comes to just one object. For me, I feel like I just love buying clothes. It's like a bad addiction that I have, buying lots of clothes. And I think about it. I'm like, on my span of me moving to LA, if I didn't spend any money on clothes, I could probably have a nice pair of keys, in my garage.
Well,
but I don't.
You're totally normal for a 19-year-old to buy clothes out there because I feel like when I was 19, that's what I splurged my money on. And I had nowhere near as much money as you have right now. Right. So I'm sure a lot of that money is going to what you're wearing. Funny thing is, I stalk you on IG. I apologize.
Nah, it's all good.
And I saw there's a couple of people in the room with you.
Yeah.
You guys had where did you guys take that picture in San Diego?
Oh, so we took that picture in front of Dirty Birds.
Dirty Birds in PB?
Yeah.
Pacific Beach?
That's Frankie's stomping
ground.
See,
I used to be. I lived there for like 7 years, but I'll tell you, Dirty Birds, and this isn't a plug in any way, but they got some good ass wings. They got some
so
good specials up in there. You can get drunk and full for short money. Not that I ever did. I'm just throwing it out there. If that was my life at one point.
The wings were definitely great. Like I'm a wing connoisseur.
But
I
noticed your style, and and I'm wearing this jacket, and it is hot.
Right.
But I noticed that regardless of the temperature in Southern California, y'all are wearing, you got to be sweating under that thing. You got a long sleeve on. I got a jean jacket. You're over here in those are like sweats, leggings, so you guys are not about the whole comfort. It's fashion over comfort.
No, for me, it's definitely comfort. Like, I don't feel like I like showing my legs too much. So I could be in the hottest of temperatures and I would be wearing pants, those up. Jeans.
I was talking to some girls that are fans of yours.
Oh, awesome.
They're watching your YouTube videos. And one in particular said, If you talk to Khalid, ask him if he's depressed, because he looks kind of depressed in some of his videos.
Nah, not at all. I mean, I feel like one of the biggest reasons, and I'm a very big advocate when it comes to mental health. For me, I feel like when I write out all of my feelings throughout the songs, it gives me more attention to focus on my happiness, because the songs are sometimes they can be so seldom and upsetting, where it's like, you know what, that's just all the energy that I kept within. I'm throwing it out to focus and spend more time on becoming happy.
You know, that new song that you have, being that you talked about it, the new song with Logic and Alessia Cara, we're spinning that right now. And,
awesome.
And you know, that's a suicide prevention line. Frankie got me hip to it. But that's not, you know, when you listen to your album, and for someone to catch that you know, you're depressed, it really is your emotions just all on that album. The Khalid outside of that.
Right.
The one doing pop-up shows and just showing up places and taking pictures. Totally different person.
Right.
How would you describe yourself if someone only heard you only through your album? How would you describe yourself outside of that?
Outside of the album, I'm definitely friend and family first. You know, I love bringing my friends with me everywhere I go. I mean, even some of the people in this room have known me for almost 10 years, you know. I just love showing love and love giving back and love giving what, you know, I have, what I create. I mean, when I was in the creation process of the album, it definitely wasn't just, okay, let me just pull for myself. It was like, okay, what are my friends going through right now that they want someone, you know, who I didn't even have a platform yet, but someone who would have grown a platform, what they would have wanted them to say, you know, in the mind of themselves, like telling their own stories. And so I got a couple of stories and a lot of emotional phone calls, and I was like, you know what, like, I'm going to put this in this time capsule, which is American Teen, and I'm going to put it out there, and hopefully, you know, you telling your story helps other people who are going through the same thing. I mean, you could be going through emotional troubles when it comes to finding out who you are as an individual, or, you know, finding where you are in terms of romantics, from being 15 years old to being 45 to being, you know, 55, you know. Love is love at the end of the day. So
I actually have that in my notes. I think that's why your album crosses. I'm almost 40. I mean, and my son's 20, so he's your age. You remind me of my son.
Awesome.
Because everyone always says, your son always looks so depressed. I'm like, my son is not depressed. He doesn't have to smile every 5. People always want him to smile.
Right.
I'm like, but he's a very deep thinker. So when you say the American Teen album, even though it's teen, we've all been there. And I feel like teens feel way harder than any other age. Like, now that we're older, we're a little more jaded. Frankie.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We've gone through some experiences with females in our lives that get us to stay single. It's all good.
I mean, it's fresh, you know, it's newer. You're finding out about yourself, you know, where you fit, you know, where, like, what you like, just all these different things is just very new feelings. Love is very new and it's very strong. And I mean, you have a lot of old heads, you know, no offense, who kind of forget,
none taken,
you know, who kind of forget how fresh it was for them. They look back, they're like, why are these kids tripping over, you know, this and that and love? And I mean, when they were, you know, 19, 18 years old, they were doing the same thing.
Speaking about old heads and old music, what's your inspiration? Like, who do you listen to? I'm not saying just new stuff. I mean, you can say The Weeknd, this and that. But if you look back in the years, what's music that inspired you to become who you are?
For me, I mean, outside of this, me becoming an artist in this term, I really wanted to go into classical music. You know, I really wanted to be a vocalist and go to school for that, teach music education. So I love artists like Billie Holiday, you know, Bill Withers, you know, Tracy Chapman, Nina Simone, you know, Sam Cooke, like all of these old soul, you know, individuals, because I love soul music. You know, I love a song that you can listen to, a 3-minute song, 4-minute song, and at the end of the song, it changes your whole mind frame on whatever. You know.
Your mother was a singer, so all these artists you just named, like, I can't even say I know a lot of the songs that they sang, because it's an older genre of music.
Right.
So, but your mother, and I read this, that your mother was going to be a singer as well, or she is a singer.
Yeah.
I'm sure she sang to you all the time.
Yeah. So my mom, she does sing, and she's an amazing singer. She's probably hands down my biggest influencer. She has to be, you know, because she raised me, and she sang in the Army. She retired, but luckily I'm so glad I had, you know, such a strong individual in my life who reminded me just how beautiful and how necessary music is for life. Like, for me, I personally couldn't go a day without listening to at least one song, you know, probably more than one song. And I don't feel like anybody, if you're not even necessarily social, if you leave your house, you're gonna hear something. You're gonna hear a song, you know, you're gonna hear someone listening to something on the radio driving past you. Mm-hmm. It's just, music is just it's so dominant. We need music, you know. And my mom taught me that at an early age, and that's why I was so interested in going into music education. Mm-hmm. Luckily, I have a platform. Luckily, I'm growing a platform. It's growing immensely every single day, that now eventually I'll be able to tie in music education within youth and kind of remind kids, you know, how important it is to just be active and just be a great listener.
And working forward on stuff like Tati had mentioned, you did work with Logic and Alessia Cara on that track. Who do you want to work with, or who might you be in the works with already in studio?
Definitely, I love working with my friends, you know, so I have a lot of friendships that I don't have yet, and that I hopefully I do have, and hopefully we create one, because I feel like it makes the music just so much more genuine. You know, going on tour with Lord, hopefully we build a great friendship and then build a great song from that. I feel like that would be super awesome. There's a lot of other artists, you know, whether it's Russ, who's super talented, Black, super talented. I would like to actually do a real song with Kalani, you know, SZA, all these people. But they're definitely just ideas in the wind. You know, hopefully we all have an availability time where we're all free, you know, where I can just hit them up and be like, yo, like, let's just hang out and let's create.
I'll tell you right now, SZA and Lord, they all stalk our social media, so they're going to see this video.
Awesome.
And now they're going to try and find you like, yo, man, just holler at us, tweet us real quick.
It's going to be in the works. Lord's actually going to be part of our iHeart Festival. We'd ask you to be there, but they've made all the announcements already. I'm a little sad.
Hopefully I get to watch.
Please do. But, you know, I did want to say this to you. Earlier, you were saying that your platform, The American Teen, when I listened to the album, I feel like as a parent, every parent should listen to the album, because it does remind you said it earlier, everyone went through these emotions. They were hard in love, you know what I mean, right. Going through all of this. You said music education.
Yeah.
That's what your platform is. That's what you'd hope. You're only 19.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, and when I say only 19, I don't mean to sound like an old person saying only 19. You got so much ahead of you.
Oh, yeah.
As far as that platform, where do you see that going in the next 5-10 years for you? Like, what would you like to grow with that? Like, you see artists go and they give money to certain things. Chance the Rapper is one of your inspirations. You see him in Chicago doing good in Chicago.
Right.
What is Khalid, you know, contributing as far as your platform?
For right now, it's really, you know, spreading awareness of my city. I want to say my hometown, because it definitely feels like a home to me, even though I haven't lived there for too long. You know, I rep El Paso, Texas, like I was born and raised there sometimes, just because of how helpful it was. And if I didn't move there, I probably wouldn't be in this chair. You know, I probably wouldn't be who I am right now as an artist. I'd be probably on some whole different other type of stuff, you know? So I really want to go back and start a foundation for music education within kids, you know, giving the theater kids, giving the art kids, giving the choir kids just equipment that's necessary. You know, some of these kids are using things that they used, you know, 30 years ago, which isn't the best.
Very true.
You know, outfits for their musical productions, they're using old outfits from 50 years ago. You know, they're finding and they're scraping for what they can. And so I really want to give them just a platform that they can be like, you know what, if I need help, you know, I can go to this wherever Khalid, you know, creates, and I can get help, or even just have just a space just for creativeness, you know, that they can go to and they can, you know, be artists and they can feel comfortable and they can be surrounded with other aspiring artists and they can learn from each other, you know, have teachers and tutors come in and out, you know, teaching all of these kids just things that they don't necessarily know, because since El Paso's so far away from everyone forgets that it's there, but it's there.
Right.
You know, there's a culture, there's an art culture, and the culture definitely needs, you know, it needs people who can come in and who can help bring a lot of diversity, you know, bring a lot of growth, so that El Paso can be your next Austin, you know, can be your next Houston, can be your next, you know, it has potential, and I definitely want to be a big marker on helping that.
So you're repping El Paso, of course, and Mexican food in El Paso, Tex-Mex.
awesome.
Is it? But you're in San Diego, so I know you mentioned you went and got some wings. Tex-Mex. But have you tried some San Diego?
People in Texas don't even say that because they're in Texas. They don't call it Tex-Mex. They just call it Mexican food.
We're like, I hit up my boy, yo, what do you want to go eat? Oh, Tex-Mex.
But I grew up in the East Coast, so I was saying Taco Bell is like my Mexican food back east. Right. Then I moved here and I tried a thing called the California burrito.
Ooh,
and
I know heard of that.
You got carne asada, you got French fries, you got guacamole.
Fries in it is what makes it California, though, right?
100%.
No way. Yeah. That's awesome.
Have you tried that yet?
I haven't tried that.
You could bring that back to El Paso and put a little stamp on El Paso real
quick.
Gotta
put them on real quick. Nah, that's awesome. I'll probably go get that today, actually.
You know what? I really just want to say congratulations. You're like an old soul. I don't know if anyone's ever told you. You're far more mature than your age suggests. And I know that people old heads.
Right.
I'll take that label. We don't give you guys enough credit. We don't give teenagers enough credit, and we don't let them speak their minds and, take into account what they have to say. But you're one of those artists who gives a voice. So
thank you.
Congratulations on this album.
Thank you.
On your location tour selling. This is your second time in San Diego in months.
In the span of months. It's ridiculous.
And you had to add another day onto your tour. Like you are holy moly.
Thank you.
Have you wrapped your head around that yet?
I'm just excited to just see where I am in a year, in 2 years. And I definitely want to be in the same, mental space that I am right now. Mm-hmm. It's just about giving back to the fans. It's like I could have easily just, sold out one time and been like, okay, that's the only time I'm coming. But I was like, nah, put another date. If the people, if they want to watch me, I'm definitely going to go and I'm going to give them a show. Yeah,
you are you're inspiring.
Thank you.
And as you can tell, I'm a fan. My son was the one who turned me on to your music. So, DJ, shout out. He wanted to be here to take a picture with you. I'm hogging this.
I just want to say congrats on everything as one. I know your team's been behind you, pushing you for a minute.
Oh, yeah.
You're getting it done. So we appreciate you.
Thann you so much.
Frankie, Tati, and JAMN 95.7 support you for sure.
Thank you.
One last thing.
Yeah.
Your BET nomination.
Yeah.
You're with Cardi B, 21 Savage.
Right.
Chance the Rapper took it, but that's a big thing for you to be nominated.
Yeah, super awesome.
How was that? How did you feel knowing that you were nominated for that?
It was surreal. It was definitely surreal to be compared to just so many amazing individuals. I mean, such as Chance the Rapper, he's great. And it was just, it's just a marking time for me where I was like, okay, that's the first out of the way. Like, next time I'm nominated for a BET award, hopefully I win, But it was super awesome to just be around just so much great energy, so many amazing African-American artists who are just killing it right now. And it was definitely a lot of fun. I actually invited 2 of my friends. They couldn't sit with me, but they watched behind me. So that was awesome. And they had a really good time. So that's all I really care about.
That's nice. Frankie, can you tell him the thing we found in Forbes? Did we already tell him that thing we found?
Oh, did you hear about that? Yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, Forbes announced that R&B and hip-hop is now the new biggest genre of music. Great. And that's thanks to people like yourself.
Yeah.
You and Chance the Rapper, and you know what I'm saying? Logic, even all these people we've been talking about on that come up. So you guys are bringing this back. So
it's so awesome. I mean, look, it's coming. Definitely, it's coming. There's so many amazing artists right now who are just out there killing it, being themselves, being authentic.
Yeah.
Being true. Repping wherever they're from, repping whoever they are, just through R&B and hip hop, and I think that's just amazing.
Thank you again. We'll wrap it again. It's like, Tati, we're done. And I like it. See, Tati's
I'll tell you one thing about Tati I've learned working with her. When she gets passionate, she gets passionate. And she's been talking about you for a minute, and I can see the passion.
I drove.
And, you know what I'm saying? He
knows. He'll tell me so-and-so's coming. I'm like, that's cool. Tell him, say what's up, Tati. But when he said Khalid, I was like, I will be back. I'm going to drive up North County. I'm going to come back. So,
thank you so much.
Such an honor. Congratulations on all your success. And I know you still got a lot more to do, but we're happy that you're here with us.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for doing what you do for the music, because we in San Diego, this is our brand new hip hop and R&B station. We haven't had it in a while.
Yeah.
It was all the way pop. Frankie knows. But yeah, because of you and great artists, we can have a station back in San Diego. So thank you.
Thank you so much.